so let's continue on with adding people to a shift. Now, in this particular case, Barney is scheduled and we assign that person manually. Maybe it's a situation where it's a shift or a client that prefers that particular worker. It's very easy to do. And what could happen is that that particular person is no longer available, and we can go ahead and put them in design mode and then just cancel to remove them from the shift. Now, let's say this were a different kind of shift or a shift that we'd like to put out and allow people to select on their own. What we'll do is instead of adding a worker, we'll go ahead and add a roster. Now, remember, the rosters we created here are simply lists of people that we group together based on whatever criteria we decide. So remember, we put together a Site A group, and all of those people, for instance, are available to work at Site A. We put them on the same list. And then what we do in Shift Editor is we go into a shift, in this particular case, the PSW shift that we talked about. It's located at Site A in this particular case. Let's go ahead and put it out to everyone on that roster. And then we click Publish. Now that one shift, and we only need one person, so once one person takes it, it's going to be gone. But that's now being broadcast to everyone on the list, and it will go out to their phone, or it'll be available when they log into the website. So let me show you what that looks like from the worker side. Now remember, sometimes we create workers. In this particular case, we created this worker, and I know that because it's green, which means I can edit, which means I can log in as or impersonate that particular worker. They can take that permission away from me as an organization, but at this particular point, I'm able to log in on their behalf. So let's see what that looks like. BHS Worker 1, let's go ahead and find that, BHS Worker 1. Now, notice that the name has changed to BHS Worker 1, so I'm impersonating that person. And the first thing you'll notice is in the Work Now area, there is a shift sign up. And what that means is there's a shift being sent out to a bunch of different people on a list. Now, if it said shift invitation, that would be different. That would be sent out specifically to me. But in this case, it's a shift sign up available to a group of people. And I can click on details as worker 1. Notice that I can see March the 2nd, Site A. It's for Bedrock Health Services. The shift instructions recognize the phone number list that we put in as a glossary term. And there's also a location. I can click Get Directions if I'd like to. In fact, if I were on my smartphone, that would connect directly to Google Maps and I could navigate using Google. Now, if I click OK, I don't actually sign up. So I need to click on Sign Up to accept the shift. Let's see what that looks like. Now, notice it's gone, and the reason is because I've accepted it, it's not available to me. But if I go over to my appointments as a worker, I can see February, and then let's go to March. And notice on March 2nd, I have an appointment, and when I click on that day, I can see it's the PSW shift. I can get some information about it here. We've seen this before. If I need to cancel it, I can do that here, but let's click OK. And I can see the information and the status is accepted. So remember, this is from the worker's perspective. Now let's go back to the organization. Just click on previous account, and I'm leaving that person as an alias or logged in on their behalf. And now I'm the organization. Let's go back to Shift Editor, see what that looks like. Now notice that worker is now listed in the appointment area, and I can see that the status is accepted. Also, the shift is satisfied because I need one person and I've had one person accept. In other words, I'm happy. The shift has a green thumbs up, so I don't have to worry about that anymore. And that's one other way that we can use. We put out to a roster and it's a first come, first served basis. And we allow people to do that in cases where we'd like, particularly if we have a lot of people that we need, we send it out and let them decide.